presented by Exquisite Timepieces. More information about them in the description down below and at the end of this video. What's up, everybody? I'm Guy, and this is a JustBlueFish watch review, and I wanted to talk about something that I get asked pretty often, and that is, what's a good watch within certain price ranges? And a price of between $1,000 and $2,000 is the one that people ask about most often when they're ready to step up to the luxury watch range. It's at about that price where you might start to consider a watch as something more than just a disposable accessory, and as something that you plan to care for and to keep for a lifetime. Now, there are most certainly watches in the $1,000 to $2,000 price range worth considering, but if you can stretch your budget a couple $100 more, the Oris Aquis date is something that I often suggest that people check out. It's a watch that delivers superb quality, finishing, and brand history, and it's just a little bit more expensive. The Oris Aquis date range of watches have something on the order of 40 different models, and what we're looking at today is one of their newest pieces, the Oris Aquis date Upcycle. The Upcycle is not too dissimilar to the other models in the range in terms of features, specs, and of course quality. What makes it unique is this dial. So much so that no two Oris Upcycle watches are the same. From one watch to the next, you have an opportunity to find a distinct and unique color pattern that suits you and your personality to a T. Now, before we jump into the dials, let's talk about the features and the specs of the Oris Aquis date in general. The Aquis date comes in two size variations, the 36.5mm and the one that we have here today, the 41.5mm. This watch has an overall thickness of approximately 13mm, and it has a wingspan of about 48mm from lug tip to lug tip. The bracelet is 22mm wide at the watch case, but being somewhat integrated into the case and having a taper that goes down to a bit over 16mm where it meets the clasp, I'd say that this bracelet feels a bit more slender than what you might expect. The case and the bezel assembly, along with the bracelet, are fashioned from 316L stainless steel, and the bezel insert is a high-quality, scratch-resistant ceramic insert. The crystal on this watch is sapphire glass, and it features an anti-reflective coating on the inner side. And the watch runs an automatic Oris 733 movement, base caliber Sellita SW200. The movement is an automatic self-winding 26-joule movement running at 28,800 vibrations per hour with a power reserve of about 38 hours. It is hand-winding and hacking, and it features a date calendar and the signature red Oris signed rotor. Being a dive watch, it also has a screw-down crown at the 3 o'clock position of the watch case, and it offers the wearer a water resistance depth rating of 300 meters. And the bracelet features a flip-locking diver's extension. The fit and finish of the Oris Aquis really is quite excellent for the money. It features a mix of brushed and polished surfaces, and while it is more than anything a reliable and dependable tool watch, the polished lugs and the polished surfaces on the outer sides of the bracelet links, it does give the watch a bit more of a luxury-inspired look and feel. The bezel is a 120-click unidirectional elapsed timekeeping device, and both the edge texture and the bezel action are quite good. You can easily get a good grip on the bezel for quick operation, and it's neither too stiff or too loose in use. The highly polished handset and the hour markers on the dial are as great looking with the lights on as they are in the dark. Filled with glow-in-the-dark superluminova, the watch is more than legible in low-light situations. And as nice as the finishing on the hands and the markers is, the star of the show is obviously the Upcycle dial. The story behind these dials is that they're manufactured from recycled plastic. PET plastic recycling is a process that produces random patterns, meaning that no two dials are alike, making each watch unique. And yeah, looking at a handful of examples, these dials vary both in pattern and color a lot from one example to the next. It can actually make for a fun and interesting hunt, seeking out the perfect color and pattern variation and finding the one that's perfect for you. The example that I picked for this review has a beautiful dark blue and white watercolor type pattern with hints of purples, greens, and teals. It makes for a presentation reminiscent of what I would call, impressionist watercolor paintings, and it's really attractive. On the wrist, the Oris Aquis date, whether it's this Upcycle model or any of their other variations, it does wear really well. It's not super slim or low profile or under the radar for that matter, but it's perfectly suited in size for my 6 3/4 inch wrist. This being the 41.5mm model, as previously noted, if you prefer something smaller, they do also offer that 36.5mm version. So finding one that wears well for you, no matter your wrist size, shouldn't be much of an issue. Now the clasp on this model is a high-quality machined push-button deployant clasp, signed with the Oris logo. It does feature several micro adjustment points, though not with toolless adjustment, which would be really nice. And it does have a swing arm in high quality machined stainless steel as well. And overall, the clasp is quite good. So like I said, if you're in the market for a dive watch that's in the $1,000 to $2,000 price range, I really can't help but recommend raising your budget a couple of $100 more and checking out the Aquis date. It is an excellent watch, for sure. I am super impressed with it. And for someone looking to take their first steps into the luxury level watch game, it's a great choice. Or for someone looking to add another diver to an existing collection of luxury watches, not a bad choice either. I don't think you're going to be disappointed with this one. I know I'm impressed. This video is presented in partnership with Exquisite Timepieces, my local brick-and-mortar watch dealer located here in Naples, Florida. Exquisite is an authorized dealer of dozens of watch brands, including Omega, Seiko and Grand Seiko, Blancpain, Breguet, and many, many more. Exquisite also has a fantastic selection of pre-owned watches with new inventory coming in daily. So if you're looking for your next watch, I highly recommend checking out their website, exquisitetimepieces.com, or calling their store at 239-227-2932. And if you do happen to talk to them, let them know that you heard about them from Guy and the JustBlueFish channel. I can't recommend them enough.